Fun one, huh?
Oh, I mean, I don't smoke cigarettes, but man, I might need one after that one. That was what a turn of emotions all the way through those last couple innings. Chance to walk it off there. Thought we walked it off maybe on the base hit, and then the bases, and then you get a 3-1 count. It's like this game's over, and then you don't get it done there. One of your better hitters, and Toby comes up and flies out, and then you go give up a 2 spot. You're like, man, what a chain of emotions. And then you come back and put up a 6 spot to walk it off with the same guy that, baseball's a beautiful game sometimes, and it treats you great sometimes, and it humbles the heck out of you at other times. But tonight it was one of those poetic endings you can't make that stuff up. So pretty cool. Just super proud of the resiliency, I guess, of our guys. At the end of the day, down 2, you go into the 10th, the dugout was like, we're winning this game, let's go. There was no quit. There was no sense of we're not winning this game. Like we're winning this game. Somebody get on, we're winning. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Even Lance with a huge at bat, getting down 0-2, and I scratched my head, going, man, I told you, look for the heater. You got 2 of them right down the middle. What are we doing? But he knew what he was doing, I guess. Had a great at bat, and then we got a little gift from above, I think, on the pop up to the catcher, and he slipped, and I guess the grass might have been dewy, which was great. But then, regardless of that, just the at bat after that Stephen Ondina put together, and pretty special. And then obviously Nick McLean comes up with a couple of guys being walked in front of him, and I know probably carrying the weight of thinking he should have won it, earlier, and walking it off with a grand slam. I'm like, man, what an ending to that one. That was pretty special. So.
You say you thought you had it in the bottom of the 9th on Campos' single. Did you disagree with Goff holding Demare at 3rd?
Absolutely not. Goffey did the right thing there. We got, in our mind, the candidate for the Golden Spikes coming up, with Keegan and Boone. I say that tongue in cheek, but he just has absolutely been on fire. You got that kid coming up with Nick McLean behind him and Toby behind him. Like, unless you're 100% sure, you hold him up right there and let one of those guys, all you need is a fly ball and you win. I don't question that call at all. I think Goffey did the right thing. 2020 hindsight, like, gosh dang, you should have sent him, and he was in the dugout going, man, I should have sent him, I guess. I said, no, you shouldn't have. You're fine. Like, hey, ball was right at him. Demare didn't get a great read out of the box, kind of hesitated a split second, which, like I said, you got Vu, who's been on fire, you got Mac behind him, you got Toby behind him. The odds are in our favor to get it done right there. We just didn't. It's okay.
What do you... Go ahead.
How much of an asset can his resurgence be, specifically as you finish up the season here? It's no doubt the biggest point of the season with the regular season and postseason coming up. How much of an asset will Nick's resurgence be to the team if he can keep it going?
Well, I think you guys know what Nick McLean's capable of doing, right? And we all do, and so does he. And I think that's where he puts a little too much pressure on himself at times to be that guy. And if he just relaxes and just goes and plays and uses his God-given abilities, it's going to take over. It's just a matter of time. And that was just pretty cool tonight for him. Couldn't happen to a Grand Canyon. Just really happy for him.
Having now won 8 of your last 9, how do you put into perspective this one game at a time mentality, and how it kind of comes through in this moment of urgency tonight to pull through in the face of adversity?
I think it's credit goes to the players, man. They're buying into what Kool-Aid we're serving, and it's really, we're not serving much. We're just letting them go play, and that's kind of been the motto as of late, man. Just go play. Trust yourself and go play. And it's been working. And sometimes as a head coach, you got to take a step back, and obviously I'm learning as I go. My mentality is harder, let's go push. With this group, it's, hey man, you just gotta go play. Let your God-given abilities take over and go out and play and do your thing. Maybe I gotta take the throttle back a tick and just let them go do it. And we've done that as of late, and they've excelled tremendously. So that's on the players. The positive part is on the players. They're taking it and running with it and doing great things that we haven't done yet this year. But they also believe and know that they're capable of doing something special and writing the script here at the end of the season when everybody wrote us off. And to me, that's pretty cool. So the longer we can keep this dream alive, you never know. Just take one at a time. You can't look ahead, but I think we all believe in there that something special can happen.
Over this 8-1 stretch, this is the second game that didn't even end in save territory, but was for a while. Well, how comforting is it for you to know that while you've been blowing some teams out lately, you can pull out a nail-biter like this one too?
Well, I think that the way we won this game is huge, right? To where we had no business winning that game. We did at the beginning, and we just kind of gave it away. When their Friday night starter goes out after a hitter and a half, it's like, hey, we're looking pretty good. Their number one guy is out after a hitter. Like, man, we got to take advantage of that. And we did in the first, put up a 4 spot, but then we just kind of went flat, like this game's over type thing. And to kind of give that back a little bit, and you could just kind of feel in the middle innings, after we just started having simple innings offensively, where it's a 4-pitch inning, I think, and first pitch outs where we're just not locked in. You just kind of felt the momentum shift, and it's like, man, we can't throw this one away. I mean, they gave it to us on, not intentionally, but on a platter with their number one guy going down early. You got to take advantage of that, right? And we give it back, but then, like I said, all the ebbs and flows of this game, and to come out on top, I mean, that's pretty cool. Where the guys don't fold, when it's had every intention or had every reason to fold if you make excuses and start pointing fingers, but they battled together and pulled it out, which was pretty cool.
You mentioned the middle innings, and through 4, it looked like Ben Jacobs was maybe on track for his best start, maybe ever, 4 no-hit innings, and then he kind of ran into trouble. Was there anything that you saw from him that kind of switched between those 4th and 5th innings?
No, I think he just made a couple of mistakes that they got, and that happens, right? You can be cruising and you make a mistake over the middle of the plate. I think the 9-hole guy, DeCarlo, he hit the snot out of that ball, and when Benny came in, he said, "It was middle. I just missed my spot," and he got his money's worth. The ball was tattooed, right? And he made a couple mistakes there in the 5th and then the 6th that bit him a little bit, but all in all, Benny threw the ball great. I thought there was a couple little mistakes here and there, but that cost him. But all in all, he did what he was supposed to do. He gave us some length, kept us in the game, and left with the lead. He did what he was supposed to do.
Nick, you said run of form speaks for itself, but to have him get walked in back-to-back innings, what was running through your mind when that happened, when you saw the coach make that decision? Or for you, how much more does that put into perspective, his ability to just turn it up now in this later stage of the season?
I think if they're walking somebody to get to Nick McLean, I'm happy, right? And again, I just, with those 3 or 4 batters at the top of our lineup, it's like pick your poison. Mac he's not gonna roll over. He's gonna get it done at he's gonna start getting going. You got, pick your poison with Campy. If you don't want him, then they had every situation, the same situation to walk Campy, and they didn't. And then Campy gets the base hit, right? And then they decide to walk Boo and pitch to Mac the first time, and then they do it again the second time. And is that right, wrong, and different? I wouldn't question it. What JK was doing, it's like, hey man, he and Boo is arguably one of the best players in the country right now. So do you pitch to that guy, or do you walk him and pitch to a guy that's very talented, but I don't question it, but I do have confidence that Nick McLean's going to get it done. But yeah, I think to answer your question, you know, Vu's just been, he's been on fire. I don't know how else to explain it. The kid just continues to produce and hit, and any situation that's been thrown at him, he just continues to get it done.
This team, at different points in the season, has not always had the counter punch like they showed tonight. How have they been able to find that fight and the belief they showed in that late game heroics?
That's on them. I'm not taking credit for it. Coaches ain't taking credit for it. That's on the players. At some point in time, you can sit up here and talk all you want, but and I've talked all I could talk, but